That is one of the weakest openings by a defense attorney I've seen in a long time.
Each element of each offense has to have actual evidence to prove that.
Lady, you gotta start strong.
July 18th of 2014, these two men, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, followed Danny all over town.
I'm already getting bored. Like, do something, lady.
Keep an open mind. We're going to ask you to find her not guilty of every single count.
You must follow the law. The law says...
Glorious. Is it a lawsuit? Probably. Why not?
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with attorney Larry Forman. Folks, today we're going to do the defense's opening in the Donna Adelson case. I hope you all are buckled up because I've heard some things about this opening, and I cannot wait to see how it compares to the prosecution's. Now, what I can tell you is we're going to do this in one sitting. It's going to be one episode because the prosecution's opening was about an hour long. That's why I had to break it up into three manageable chunks, I guess I should say. This one is 20 minutes. What do they have to say in Donna Adelson's defense? Let's find out.
I just want to start by saying this. Remember, during the course of the proceedings, that the state always gets to go first. But the defense has a right to be heard too. So please keep an open mind until you hear from us as well. You just sat through an opening statement. The presentation was pretty cool. I'm old-fashioned, so I don't use that kind of stuff, but for an hour, you heard about this killing. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. And you heard an awful lot about why they think Donna Adelson has the motive to kill Danny Markel. And you heard an awful lot about what other people did in this case. But not a single piece of evidence was discussed that shows that Donna Adelson planned this, hired anybody to do this, or intended that this happen. And I just want you to be mindful that when we're at the end of the case and the judge gives you the instructions and he gives them,
Now, hold on. That's actually a terrible way to start. I'm sorry. I have to call this out. Think about it. The defense has the opportunity to speak to the jurors to explain what has happened. If I'm a juror and I just listened to this whole coded speak and how Donna used coded language and all that, if it's true, I mean, it seems true, so I'm going to believe it as a juror. You understand? Like, I'm just going to take the facts as they are. If you are using coded messages between each other, I'm going to have my eyebrows raised. And if you are going to stand there as a defense attorney and say, you have not heard a single piece of evidence, I don't know if that's a good strategy just right out of the gate, okay? I'm just talking, I'm watching this I've not seen this before, this is my first impression, and my gut instinct is looking at this and saying, I don't know if it's effective. That's not the best way. I think there was a better way to start, but to say there's not been a single piece of evidence, I've used that in my cases before, when there truly wasn't a single piece of evidence. I want to get it known right out of the gate to the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and Your Honor, you guys will not hear a single piece of evidence in this case. You have not heard it so far, and you won't hear it, throughout the trial. But here, they already have presented in opening pieces of, even though they don't have to, the prosecution has already presented pieces of evidence, meaning like the text messages, for example, between Donna and Charlie, okay? So I don't know. I feel like it's, and especially, the undercover agent as well, and her reaction to it, that's also circumstantial evidence. So I don't know. It feels like a very weak start, but let's keep watching. Let's see how it evolves.
that. When he gives you the instructions, he's not going to give you an instruction that says the state has to prove motive. He's going to give you elements of each offense, and he's going to say that each element of each offense has to have actual evidence to prove that. Not motive, actual evidence that those things happen. We're going to have a long trial, and I know you all are kind of prepared for that, at least in your mind. You know it's going to happen, and it's going to be long, and we're going to have days.
And I don't understand what she's doing. Why is she talking about everything surrounding the circumstances of this trial? Lady, talk about the facts. You got to start strong. Every comedian, every defense lawyer, every performer knows you start strong and you end strong. She started off by saying there wasn't a single piece of evidence and here's what it is. And then she just kind of went on a tangent about, well, and there's procedure and then we're going to be here a while and then we're going to... As a juror, I'm already bored. Entertain me, lady. You have to. You have to. If you're not doing it, that means you don't have anything. Because if you had something, ladies and gentlemen, da-da-da, you want to shock their conscience. You want to make them feel rattled. Everything that remember the My Cousin Vinny, everything that guy said is bull crap. It's the same thing. Everything that they just said, they just do it, but do it in a proper way. This is not the way. I'm already getting bored. Like, do something, lady. It's like that meme with the stick. Come on, do something. I'm being dead serious, though. I'm being dead serious. This is crucial. This is the beginning of the defense's case. And if you don't, I came in like a wrecking ball. Like, if you got to wrecking ball this crap. If you don't do it, you are shooting yourself and your client and your case in the foot. Come on. This is like defensing 101.
I hear a lot of evidence and phone calls and text messages and emails.
So evidence.
But I want to ask you to never, ever stop thinking for the 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks that we're here about why it is we are really here. Not just because Donna Adelson is on trial, but because 2 men killed Danny Markell. Don't forget Danny. He was an amazing professor.
Okay.
He was very well educated. He had 2 degrees, I think, from Harvard, one of them from law school there. He was a professor. He had students. He was very well respected by his peers, his colleagues. He traveled all over the place to talk at conferences. They wanted him there for him to come and speak. Very, very intelligent man, and I can't say I know because I never met him. I wish I had. But I know he had to be proud of all that he had achieved. His career was important to him. Him continuing to educate himself so that he could get tenure at the law school as a professor. He worked very hard. He earned a lot.
Is this for real?
What he did not earn was for somebody to do this to him. You're going to hear that Wendy Adelson, the daughter of my client, was married to Danny. And I'm not trying to be informal when I say that. I respect Mr. Markell, Dr. Markell, but because so many people in the trial are going to refer to him as Danny, I'm going to do that if that's okay. But I don't mean any disrespect by doing that. More important to Danny Markell than anything in the world were his little boys.
Oh my God. Okay, I have to stop again. I'm sorry. Just so you understand my frustration, okay? I'm listening to her as a juror with the mindset of a criminal defense attorney. So you're getting a very unique perspective, okay? And here's what I'm trying to say. Donna Adelson is on trial for conspiracy to commit murder, solicitation to commit murder, and first-degree murder through agents who committed the murder against Danny Markell. Okay? I'm a juror. I just heard the prosecution lay into this woman about everything she has done, everything she was involved with, the ticket to Vietnam. Like, I think as a juror, this woman has done something. Maybe not, what they're claiming, but she's definitely done something. I'm sorry. Facts are facts. People are people. Humans are going to human. It's normal. It's expected. You have just heard the prosecution just rip this woman to shreds. What I expect is the defense to get up there and say, here are the facts, and unravel their entire story for me to go, wow, I have reasonable doubt. That's what I expect as a juror, okay? As a defense attorney, I'm expecting her to do pretty much the same thing, only from the other end of how she's going to approach the situation, how she's going to describe it. She's talking about his kids. She's talking about him being a law professor. She's building up the victim. Nobody cares, lady. I'm sorry. We care about Danny. Yes, in the real world, we care about the loss of a man. We care about the loss of a father. We care about the loss of a law professor. We'll never have him again. thanks to these people, the Adelson family and their lackeys. Sure, yes, 100%. I'm not trying to say anything about that. But this is a trial. This is a criminal defense proceeding. Or excuse me, this is a criminal proceeding. And now the criminal defense attorney is getting up there and she's just playing on their heartstrings. I don't like this tactic at all. It doesn't work for the defense. And I don't think if I had been on this jury, if it would be working on me. That's where I'm coming from. So I hope you all are seeing what I'm seeing. We are 4 minutes into a 21-minute opening by the defense. And so far, all I've heard is, hello, I'm the defense attorney, and Daniel was a good guy. Oh, and they don't have any evidence, but I don't believe you because you can't just say they don't have any evidence, but I just heard stuff. Make me believe you. I'm waiting for the moment.
Little children. And this happened to him. A 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. When the divorce first happened, when Wendy moved out, he did not want the divorce. That was in 2012. And they squabbled during the divorce, they did. Each side argued for their side. The other side argued for their side.
The first few minutes are crucial.
Divorce is
and
not
she's
fun.
Losing it. Divorce
is not usually friendly. Some of us have had friendly divorces, but not everybody does. And a lot of things were said. But moving forward to 2014 is where we're going to concentrate on because that's when Danny was killed. And in 2014, with these little boys that he had, the divorce had been over for a year. Relocation, the opportunity, even discussion about it, ended. On July 31st, when the final judgment was entered, relocation was over. The state told you that. The court denied it with prejudice. She could never raise it again. Nobody was fighting anymore about where these little boys would be. Danny advocated for not only himself in the divorce, he advocated for his children. They are an important part of his life. He wanted as much time as he could get with them. They ended up splitting the time equally between Wendy and Danny. Their schedules changed a little bit on how they worked that out, but it was 50%. This bug is driving me crazy too. What in the world is that? Sorry. He continuously...
Listen, I'm sorry to keep pausing it, but I have so much to say. Again, as a criminal defense practitioner, so many rules are being violated by this woman, and I think I finally figured it out. They have no case. This is the hallmark of a lawyer that realizes they have already lost before the case has even begun. If you have something, you lead with it. If you don't have anything, you muddy the water, you talk about everything but. So that's my opinion at this juncture.
From the time Wendy moved out till the time that he was killed, spent as much time as he could get with his children. He loved being with them. If it wasn't his time to have the children, he would go to their little preschool and spend time with them there. He wanted to talk to them on the phone as much as he could. You guys are way younger than me, so maybe you don't even know about this, but I guess there was a thing called Skype. I don't even know if it still exists, but I guess it's like FaceTiming, but doing it on your computer. And that's how he wanted to talk to his kids, so that he could see them when he wasn't with them while he spoke to them. Now, at 3 and 4, it's kind of hard to wrangle them to sit down in front of a screen. So Danny came up with a really good idea. When he Skyped the children, it would be most of the time after the kids had had their dinner and had their baths, where they're kind of calmed down, they're not in their little running around state. And he would read bedtime stories to them. And he didn't have his little kids. He still wanted to know that when the children went to bed, they didn't forget about Daddy. And he made sure that didn't happen.
I swear, is she the prosecutor all of a sudden talking about the victim? It's been 7.5 minutes of nothing. We're approaching the halfway point, and I still haven't heard anything about why Donna is innocent or why Donna didn't commit this crime.
These kids are not deprived of their father. Their father was brutally taken from them. Not just when they were 3 or 4, or 5 or 6, or 7 or 8, but up into their teens. They lost the opportunity because someone took it from them to grow up with a father, to have his involvement and influence in their lives, to talk about what he did as a kid and share his experiences. All of that was stolen from him. That's very important. This Skyping that he did with his kids, Mrs. Adelson, when she had the little boys, actually arranged so she could do that with him. And she would keep the kids in front of the screen while he talked to his children.
Okay.
We've heard a lot about how she hated him. She said some ugly things during the divorce. Pretty foul things, actually. But you're going to learn through the evidence why that was occurring and how she was actually interacting with Danny. They're two very different things. I want to talk to you now about my client,
Finally.
Donna Adelson. She is a normal person, just like all of us. At the time that this happened, she was 64 years old, married to her husband, Dr. Adelson, a dentist. Now they've been married 54 years. It was somewhere in the 40-year range when this happened 11 years ago. And she got up in the morning and went to work, not at her and Harvey's business, like you were just told. She went to the business owned by her son. Every morning, they got up and they went to work. She did the books, she kept the books, she greeted patients, she got charts out. At 7:30 every morning, she was there and organized and had everybody ready to go because they had a little staff meeting. So everybody could know what to expect, what patients they were going to see, what they were going to take care of. She was there working, sometimes late into the evening, just like all of us. She's a normal person. People who know Donna will tell you that she is not the person that the state is portraying her to be. She's kind, caring, loving. She cares more about people than she does about herself. Now, what happened on July the 18th of 2014? You've heard the state describe it, but I want to talk about it for a minute.
Are we finally getting to the point here, counselor?
The state is going to be able to prove to you some of the things they were talking about.
The state is going to be able to prove to you some of the things that you... What? Are you just helping the state now? I don't understand this woman. I don't understand what she's doing. I'm sorry.
Can everybody see it okay?
I'm losing my mind here.
No. Oh.
This is the range of evil. Just raise your hands and everyone can see the evil clearly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So the state told you that he got up every day, just like he normally did, on July the 18th of 2014. And I just want to say this also. Throughout the trial, you may hear me say that he was murdered on that date. Somehow he survived for another 11 hours. But in my opinion, all the evidence is going to show that what killed him took place on the 18th, and he was just able to survive long enough into the next day. So on that date, July 18th of 2014, these two men, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, followed Danny all over town. Started at his house, followed him to the school where the little children were going to school, the preschool where he dropped them off, watched him drop those kids off, followed him to the gym, waited outside the gym for him, followed him to his house, pulled up in the driveway. Mr. Markel is talking on the telephone to someone, and he notices someone's coming into his driveway. And while he's talking on the phone and says something about needing to see who this is, He turns and looks in the direction, and this man, Sigfredo Garcia, is holding a revolver, and he points it at him. And you may hear testimony that there's some evidence that maybe he tried to, well, you know what you do in defense when somebody's going to hit you or whatever, you put your hands up. He saw this man pointing a gun similar to this at him. And in that instant, I cannot fathom how terrified he must have been when this man shot him, not one time, but twice. One of the shots is almost right between the eyes. He was brutally murdered by this man. This man, Luis Rivera, who you've heard them mention in the state's opening, traveled with this car. This is an actual picture of the car, and the state's going to show it to you. This is the Prius that they were traveling in. This is surveillance photo that the investigators were able to find to know that it was a Prius that they were looking for. This man supplied the gun and drove the car following Danny, drove it up into the driveway less than 3 feet away from Mr. Markell, whose engine is still running, and he's on the phone, and he waits while this man kills him. He hears the shots. This guy, Mr. Garcia, runs back to the car where Mr. Rivera is in the driver's seat, and he's the getaway driver. Supplies the gun, knows what they're going there to do, kill him, and drive off. They drive off. The state can prove that about Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera. But they're not on trial here, right? You heard they've already been on trial.
They're in prison.
Then you're going to hear, as the state said, that they can prove that, everybody can see okay? They can prove that Katie Magbanawala, her name's Catherine, some people call her Katie, they can prove that she's the one who set it up. This is the father of Katie's children. This is his buddy that was recruited to go along on this trip to kill Danny. They can prove that she arranged these guys to do it, and that she's the one who paid them the money. The money that was in stacks, stapled, $100 bills, all $100, well, there may have been something other than $100 bills.
The one that went to the laundry?
$1,000, stapled together. And you're going to hear testimony that that's exactly what he did with his money. He kept it and saved it for a long time. And you're probably going to hear testimony that this happens on July 18th, and on July the 19th, Mr. Adelson, Charlie Adelson, which is her son, gave approximately between $130,000 and $138,000 that he had in his safe that he collected and stapled together. His money went to her, not Miss Adelson. They can prove and how that he paid her to get them to kill Danny Markell. That's what they can prove.
Okay, pause. And again, I'm keeping track of the time. We have 4 minutes left in this opening. 4 minutes. I, as a juror who have just heard conspiracy, right? Acting in concert. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, but in my mind, I still have that question mark. But there's also text messages between Charlie and Donna. They acted in concert. That's where the conspiracy is coming from. They were working together. They orchestrated this together, okay? I am 100% with you, Ms. Defense Attorney, but you have not explained that, you have not broken that link between like Charlie and Donna. She is repeating. This is one of the most crucial mistakes you can make as a criminal defense attorney, and that is to repeat everything that the prosecution has said. Now, obviously, she's not going that far, but so far, she has spent about 10 minutes regurgitating the prosecution's opening. Not intentionally or intentionally is irrelevant here. Folks, we have about 300 seconds left, less than, like 240 seconds left of this opening, And unless there's going to be some sort of bomb that she's about to drop on us, which is extremely doubtful, because usually you don't win with a nuclear bomb in these types of cases. You win by 1,000 little paper cuts, as every good criminal defense attorney knows. I haven't even seen paper cut 1 so far. This is depressing. At this rate, if this is just all we have, let's pretend for a second, let's live in a vacuum, she's going to get convicted. Obviously, we have a lot more. We have witnesses, which we're going to go through, but I am very disappointed. Very, very disappointed.
And they've done it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This case is really a lot about theory and motive and not evidence. The state has a theory, and for the past 9 to 11 years, in fairness, probably 9 years, they have told the whole world that Mrs. Adelson was the reason that this happened. Mrs. Adelson was the reason that this happened. They've told this story, and it's outrageous. It gets people's attention. It's made a lot of money for the media, interviews, specials. Some people in jury selection said they had watched these specials. Lawyers on there, investigators on there. They made a lot of money for the media, and it got big attention because this is outrageous, what happened. It is truly outrageous. But what's more outrageous is, without any evidence, only motive and theory, they put her at the top of this pyramid. She's the matriarch. She's the matriarch mastermind behind Danny being killed, and they don't have evidence of that. That's what's outrageous. It's outrageous that he got killed, but it's also outrageous that we're sitting here with a jury, and you're going to hear a lot of theory, a lot of motive, and a lot of what they believe the evidence means. They don't get to decide that. The evidence is what the evidence is, and I ask you to patiently sit here and really pay attention to all of the evidence that you hear, every witness that they put on, every piece of evidence that they present to you, all of it. Don't, for 1 second, I'm not asking you to ignore any of that. Please listen to all of it closely. Look for what they actually have as evidence that Mrs. Adelson planned. She planned Danny Markel's murder. That she engaged these men to kill him. And that she gave the money to her son to give to Katie to pay them. You won't find evidence of that. The evidence about the $3,000 a month, I have that here on this board, $3,000 a month. Charlie Adelson gave $2,000 a month, and he instructed his mother, for reasons you're going to learn in the trial, out of his business account to put her on payroll. She worked for him, and she paid that money. It's this man's money, not Donna Adelson. At the end of listening to all of the evidence, we're going to have an opportunity to make closing arguments.
Wow, that's it?
And the judge is then going to give you, well, he's going to give it before, he's going to give you all of the instructions on what it is that you have to decide. Did the state charge and then prove that Mrs. Adelson committed a conspiracy? Not one of the elements, all of the elements, proven by evidence, not theory, not motive.
This is very bad.
For each count, then solicitation, all the elements. So while you're listening to the evidence, you don't know what those elements are, but think about what each thing it is that the state has alleged. She planned it. She got people to do it. She intended that he die. That this woman wanted to take away the father of her grandchildren for the rest of their life because of relocation that happened a year ago and was done and over. And at the end of the case,
but she didn't get what she wanted.
There's not going to be evidence that she did this. Keep an open mind. listen to all of it. We're going to ask you to find her not guilty of every single count. Thank you.
That's it? That is one of the weakest openings by a defense attorney I've seen in a long time. And I'm sorry, as a criminal defense attorney myself, I have a right to say it, I think. I expected more. I'm leaving this opening hungry, starving for more from the defense, whereas the prosecution gave me everything I wanted. I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is what happens when you represent a guilty client. You don't have much to go on. You don't have a whole lot to... you got nothing to say. I was waiting for her to talk about the bump. I was waiting for her to talk about the trip to Vietnam. She's got nothing. It explains, I mean, because she's got nothing. Because Donna probably participated. She did it. I mean, think about it. When her son got convicted, the first thing she thought is, I got to get out of here. Sad. Very, very sad case all the way around, and Donna is probably going to be found guilty. Based on everything I've seen so far, and I know there's a whole lot more, of course, and we're going to cover the witnesses on this channel. The trial should conclude probably next Friday. September the 5th, I imagine, somewhere around there. And yeah, folks, we're going to keep this train going. I also got word that Cardi B is on trial for assault or something like that. There's Cardi B and assault are in the same sentence. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to cover the Cardi B testimony, because I'm very curious if you guys, because some of you may not even be interested, and I totally understand and respect that. You want me to cover Adelson because there's only one of me to go around, and there's just so much to cover. We haven't even finished Brian Walsh and the Rue Valley case up in Connecticut. I was going to do that, and we went from a lull to everything is happening at once. So I guess it's kind of nice, but there's only so much of my YouTube channel to go around. So let me know in the comments below what you want me to cover and what you want me to prioritize, because then I can do that for you all. So I appreciate you all. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.